guys, what's going on? It's Emily from Living Plantfully. For today's video, it's gonna be a little bit different. I figured that because we're approaching my second year Veganverssary or vegan anniversary, I figured that I would share with you guys some of my vegan pantry essentials. These are things that I think that you should have in your pantry as a vegan, or things that I use often and that I have pretty much all the time in my pantry. It might be a little bit helpful if you are a new vegan, or if you're kind of like thinking about going vegan but you're not really sure like what the heck to buy or what the heck to have in your kitchen. This is gonna help you out. So we're gonna go over some of my vegan pantry essentials. So for starters, one of the things that I always have in my kitchen all the time, year round, no matter what, is oats. I use the old-fashioned oats. So this is great because I like making it for breakfast, oatmeal obviously, I like adding it to recipes, and also if you blend this up really well in your high-speed blender, you can also make oat flour, which is a gluten-free flour alternative. So oats, definitely one of my essentials. So the next essential is quinoa. I know that most of you guys probably know what quinoa is already, but I like having quinoa because it is a great source of protein, and I like using it kind of as a substitute for rice in a lot of recipes. It's super easy to make. You just bring your water to a boil, put the quinoa, put the top, bam. It's super easy to cook, super delicious. I also make oatmeal like porridge, and that is really good as well. So I have some red quinoa here, but obviously there's white quinoa, there's the mixed kind, so your choice, but I definitely think quinoa is one of the essential things. All right, so moving on to like seeds and things like that. So one of the number one things that I use in my kitchen is actually ground flax. In case you don't know, it's ground flax seeds. This is great for substituting eggs. It's great for adding basically to any kind of dish to kind of like stiffen it up a little bit, as well as giving you a really good amount of omega-3s. So I like using flax in recipes as an egg substitute. If you don't know, I've shared it plenty of times, but a flax egg is basically 1 tablespoon of the flax meal and 3 tablespoons of water. So you just mix that up in a bowl, let it sit for like 5 minutes, and there you have your egg substitute. It's perfect in baking, in making pancakes, waffles, you name it. I've used this as an egg substitute. This is definitely like one of the main essential things that I definitely recommend you have. So the next seed is chia seeds. Now these are amazing. Chia seeds are, they're just so versatile. I love chia seeds. So you can also use chia as the egg substitute as well. I love making chia pudding. You put like 1 tablespoon in like whatever kind of milk that you have and let it sit overnight, and then the next day you will have this amazing creamy thick pudding type breakfast. So it's great. Again, it's a really great source of omega-3s, just like the flax meal. So chia seeds is definitely something you need to have. So the next seed is a superfood, and it's hemp seeds. I love using hemp seeds. You've probably seen me add them on salads because I just love the flavor of hemp seeds. They have this like earthiness to them that I just love, and they are a great source of protein. I like adding them into my like protein shakes or my smoothies for a little extra protein. They're just great. I love hemp hearts, and these are like raw shelled hemp hearts. So yeah, definitely need to have those. So for sweeteners, I recommend that you have some organic cane sugar. So in case you're not aware, regular granulated sugar is processed with bones actually. That's how they get it so white. So I like using organic cane sugar because it's not as white as you can tell. It's kind of like, it has like a natural color to it. So yeah, I like having that kind of sugar. So for liquid sweeteners, I like to have agave. I know a lot of vegans like to use maple syrup, and that's a good option, but it does have that distinctive maple flavor. Agave does not. It's more of a neutral flavored type sweetener. So I definitely like to have agave. I use it to sweeten my teas. I also use it as a honey substitute when I'm making like honey Dijon mustard. It's a low glycemic sweetener, and yeah, I love this stuff. So another thing that I always use and always have is tapioca flour or tapioca starch. It is gluten-free, and I like to use this instead of using like cornstarch. So I use this anytime that I need to thicken something, like if I'm making a soup and I want to thicken it, or if I'm making, let's say, like a stir fry and I want to thicken the sauce, I just make instead of a cornstarch slurry, I make a tapioca starch slurry. In case you don't know, tapioca is the starch from the cassava or the yucca plant. Okay, so now for oils. The 2 main oils that I use is number 1, coconut oil. I always have coconut oil on hand. It's the one that I use a lot when I'm baking and stuff. If I'm not gonna be using vegan butter, then I use coconut oil. I always try to get like the extra virgin raw kind because I feel like it's a little bit healthier that way. So definitely have some coconut oil in your pantry, as well as some olive oil. This is what I use when I'm cooking like savory dishes and stuff like that. I love the flavor of olive oil. I try to get organic most of the time. It is a little pricier, but definitely worth it. And a little cooking tip is that I like to put my olive oil into this little squeeze bottle, and it just makes it a little bit easier when I'm cooking. I don't have to take the top off, all that stuff. I just squirt it and we're good to go. So yeah, those are the two oils. And then another thing that I wanted to definitely recommend you have is some coconut milk. So this is just full fat coconut milk. It's in a can, obviously. This is great because when you're, I don't know, when you're like a new vegan, you will kind of miss that creaminess that a lot of milk products have. And I have found after 2 years almost that coconut milk is definitely the dairy-free milk that is the most creamy. So I like adding this to all kinds of stuff. If I'm making like a cheese sauce or like a cheesecake type thing, I always like to use coconut milk. And also, if you put it in your fridge for a few hours and open it up, it'll separate the like thick cream from the liquid, and you can use just that thick cream for so many things, for coconut whip, for, like I said, for cheesecakes. It's great in dessert. So yeah, definitely have some full fat coconut milk in your pantry. All right, so on to like spices and stuff like that. So obviously you want to have salt and pepper because I mean, come on. So I do recommend that instead of using just regular table salt, that you try to use Himalayan sea salt. It doesn't salt as much as table salt does because that stuff's like processed and just honestly crappy. This stuff is a lot better for you. It has a higher mineral content. Like I said, it doesn't salt as much as regular like table salt does, which is why a lot of times in my recipes I do say like salt and pepper to taste, because I don't know what kind of salt you're using. Definitely recommend that you have some Himalayan pink sea salt in your pantry, as well as pepper. I always have my little pepper mill, which you guys probably see all the time in my videos. This is what I use. Well, I buy my peppercorns whole like this, and then anytime I'm out, I just add some more peppercorns. Fresh cracked black pepper to me tastes 100 times better than like pepper that has already been ground up. It just tastes much more fresh. And then also you guys see me use my little salt thing right here. I always have my salt in this. It just keeps it easier for me to use, and I just grab a little pinch, whatever I need for the recipe. So these are the 3 seasonings that I pretty much use all the time. Number 1 is smoked paprika. I like using paprika because anything that you add it to is gonna have like a little bit of a smokiness to it, and also it's great for adding like color to like batters and things like that. So smoked paprika, definitely one of those things you need to have, as well as onion and garlic powder. This just makes everything like more flavorful, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I always have garlic and onion powder. I use them pretty much all the time if I'm making like roasted potatoes, or just I use these two a lot. So definitely have those in your pantry. And a vegan's best friend is definitely nutritional yeast. So I buy nutritional yeast at my local like health food store. So nutritional yeast is great for adding to pretty much anything. It definitely has a distinctive flavor. It's like that yeasty flavor. So a lot of times it is used for substituting in like cheese sauces or cream sauces and things like that, because it gives you like that cheesy kind of flavor. What do I not add it to, honestly? I add it to salads. I use it as like Parmesan cheese. I add it on top of my pasta. I add it into, like I said, any cheese sauce that I might be making for like mac and cheese or like Alfredo. I love this stuff. It's great. You definitely need to have this in your pantry if you are thinking, or if you are a vegan, come on, get with the program. You need to have some nooch. Another thing that I recommend that you have as a vegan in your pantry is some liquid smoke. And I know this might sound like a little bit strange, but it is great because it is vegan, but it's gonna give you kind of like that, I don't know, like that smoky flavor that you might get in like meat products. And they do use this a lot for like giving bacon flavors. And just FYI, a lot of like bacon flavored products don't even have bacon in them. They're vegan, and they use something like this, like a liquid smoke or a natural smoke flavor, to add to that to make it like bacony. So I love using this to make my like coconut bacon. I like to marinate in this, and it gives it like a nice meaty like flavor. So that's one of those things that I recommend that you have. The last 2 things that I recommend that you have Obviously, as a vegan, we're not getting our protein from meat sources, so there's so many plant-based proteins available for us. There's lentils, there's beans, there's legumes. Obviously, you can get mock meat products as well, but these are 2 protein powders that I like to have on hand. Now, these are proteins that I use aside from the ones that I use for like you know, like post-workout and all that stuff. These are protein powders that I use for like adding to breads. If I want to make, let's say, like a protein-packed muffin or something like that, I'll use either one of these because they're neutral flavored, as I said. So the first one is a hemp protein. This one, for 4 tablespoons, has 15 grams of protein, which is not bad at all. They give you like some little serving suggestions on the back that you can add them to smoothies. Obviously, this humongous thing right here is premium organic brown rice protein, and like I said, it literally tastes like nothing. I added it into my banana bread with protein and it didn't give it any kind of like weird flavor or anything like that. So this one, it comes with a little scoop, and this one, for 2 scoops, which is 30 grams, you're gonna get 25 grams of protein. So these are both really great. I'll leave them linked down below so that if you are curious and want to check them out, you can do so. They're both really great. I enjoy both of these. That is everything that I wanted to share with you guys. These are the things that I think you should have in your pantry as a vegan. If you're planning on going vegan, definitely stock up your pantry with these items because they're just great to have. Even if you're like not a cook or anything like that and you're like looking up recipes on Pinterest and stuff, a lot of them are gonna include most of these. So I really hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you like this video, be sure to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know what products of these you guys use the most. Let me know if there's something that I forgot to mention. I am going to be doing a Q&A pretty soon, so be sure to leave any questions that you'd like me to answer in the comment section below using hashtag Q&M. And as always, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you do so. I am almost at 300, which is crazy. Thank you guys so much if you're already subscribed to my channel. Follow me on Instagram at livingplantfully. And as always, guys, I will see you next week. Bye.